Hi, I'm Rupy C Tut. I'm a calligrapher and an Indian miniature painter. So I do calligraphy of different South Asian scripts, and for Indian miniature painting I've been trained to create this traditional art form from India. For me, calligraphy and Indian miniature painting both are part of my practice, and I do practice them on and off throughout the year. They're different because in Indian miniature painting there's a lot of rules, there's a lot of constraints, there's a lot of traditional methodology you have to learn and follow. And with calligraphy, I just feel a lot of freedom to do and move my brushstroke as I like. And within calligraphy also, there are many different ways of doing it, but for me it's very important to experiment with scripts. The reason I started creating works in calligraphy was because I wanted to connect back with my spoken language, Punjabi, and I really wanted to emphasize my connection with the different cultural poetry and also religious poetry that was in the Gurmukhi script, which is the script associated with the spoken language Punjabi. And for me, it was really, it's really hard to, write a language you don't really speak and write all the time. But in order to learn the script, I decided to just pick up my favorite poetic verses and started to design them and hand letter them. So hand lettering is a little bit different from calligraphy because hand lettering gives you even more freedom. You can, make a line thicker or thinner just by going over it. But with calligraphy, you have to just, live with the brushstroke that you draw the first time. So with this connection with language and poetry, I decided to, dig deeper into one of my other interests, which is biology and ecology. And within these poetic verses, which were some were religious verses, some were cultural verses, and these religious verses come from the Sikh religion, which is also my religion, but my main purpose was to connect back to, different knowledge and different verses that I would hear my grandmother speak and, just around me, what I would hear. And I wanted to know the meanings, and not only the literal meanings, but also the visual meanings, because I'm an artist. So with some of these verses, so for example, in the Flora of Gurbani collection, these verses are about, different plants and different leaves, their properties and what these leaves and plants signify and how that relates to our life and how does it guide our understanding of nature and the life around us. So I decided to, pick and choose the different plants that I loved to learn more about. So for example, the betel leaf is one of those plants that, is poetically mentioned very often. When I came to drawing the betel leaf, of course, I really loved the silhouette, the really beautiful heart-shaped kind of flipped on his head, and the brush strokes and the drawing the smaller veins was a lot of detailed, tedious work, but at the same time, each brush stroke became very meditative. It was really great to be able to include the verse within the leaf shape because then I'm able to not only have a visual meaning of the verse, but also a linguistic meaning in there. And I'm not only having the language and the script occupy physical space, but also the beautiful form of the leaf and the beautiful shape of the leaf also occupy and be visible. So in this way, for me, calligraphy becomes a way of not only connecting with language, learning the language further, learning the script further, but also to enhance some visual meanings and some visual references to sometimes my childhood and sometimes, the places where I live.